Hatırlıyorum bu gömçeğim ha.
Hello?
Hello.
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 There's never
Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, he tried it.
Hey, Roaring. Ik hoor een turf in Tom's penis.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to SEN Live. Happy Memorial Day to everyone. Props to all the great veterans out there who served their country. And listen, props to my dad, Vietnam vet. I got a call a little later on today, but I wanted to, make sure people were asking. We're going to do a show today. And yes, we're going to do a show today. And thank you for joining us today. Since we have, some time on our hands. You got some time on your hands, so we're going to do a little showy show. Joining me today, this guy.
It's a great intro.
I thought it was a good intro, right? Do a little showy show.
We got some time.
There's some time. Do a showy show. Have we gotten to that point where we need like a crisp?
No, not at all.
Crisp intro?
I think if you ever did, people would be confused.
Yeah, it would be.
It'd be like, hey, welcome back. Now, last week we talked about this. And
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us here on the SEN Live Show. Last week we went over a few of your wonderful suggestions on television. Well, this week it's going to be a lot different. We're actually going to be structured.
No, we are going to be structured here today.
Oh, my noggin's so huge again. You mess with your...
It does. Well, watch what it does when I
Kid!
Watch. What's that?
Oh, nice. Ooh. Oh, that might be.
How's that? Nope.
I can fuck with mine. Oh, there we go.
See?
Not so huge. I'll just do that.
Not so bad. Anyway, welcome back to the show. We got a lot to talk about. We didn't get you guys involved in the show, obviously. Seem to be really enjoying when we're doing that, so we figured let's do it more. Because of the holiday today, Memorial Day, we're going to do greatest war movies of all time and your favorite war movies. So the way we're going to do it is the same thing. You know, if you're putting in a Schmobot, which you obviously can do, it is on right now. It's streamlabs.com/theschmodown. What you do is you put in the movie you want to talk about and what it meant to you. There you go.
$20. Happy Memorial Day to all our veterans and shitwads. As I was about to say before the stream crashed last Friday, Nolan and WB are taking a huge fucking risk if they're keeping the July release date for Tenet. I'll guarantee y'all it will backfire badly.
I think you're probably right. I don't think that they're going to do it, Tim. I don't think there's a chance that they release it in July. I think it's too big of a risk. It's a money business. It's too big of a risk.
Yeah.
So I don't think that's going to happen. I think that's why on the trailer it says at the very end of it, come into theaters soon. It doesn't actually say in general. It's not going to make the July date. There's no way. But anyway, as I was saying, thank you, Tim. Really appreciate it. If you guys want to put in your suggestions for war movies today, you put in streamlabs.com/theschmodown. And then you don't list a full, bunch of movies here. Put one that you want to talk about and what it meant to you, how it impacted you, particular scenes that you liked, performances that you liked, so we can spawn off and do that. We're also going to talk about a few of the other stories that have popped. There's quite a few. There's stuff that I was looking at Dark Horizons this morning, the stuff that we can cover for sure. Going to talk. There was some great promos that dropped today on Schmodown. Both promo wars have been incredible, by the way. You have Shannon Barney and Kate Mulligan going at it. It's on the Facebook page if you want to check that out. So that's there. It's been really, it's been fun. And someone asked me on Facebook the other day, said, what makes a good promo for the Schmodown? I said, well, it's got to be, first of all, does it further the story? Does it further the character? Does it help build the match? That's what goes into a great promo. Promos can be funny and clever and all these different things, but do they further the story? Are they relevant to what's happening? And so they've been great. So I really enjoy what's been happening so far. If you haven't watched this, follow the Schmodown, either Instagram or Twitter, and there's a lot of them on there.
I like Shannon's, but Kate's has been running through my head right as we speak. Right
Shannon approaches it in the Mean Girl style, and Kate is just this lunatic. I was hunched over laughing this morning watching Kate's promo. It was so funny because they have this big match coming up, and that's why their promos are coming out in this order, because it's their match comes out on Wednesday.
Donated $20.
Hello.
Hi. Clint Eastwood's dual-directed movies Flags of Our Fathers and Letters from Iwo Jima is a must-watch if you are a war buff. It depicts the Battle of Iwo Jima from both the American and Japanese perspectives. Really interesting and good movies, Emo.
You know what is funny about that, Eric? I own both of those. I've only seen one. I have to see Letters from Iwo Jima. I've wanted to see it forever. I heard it's the better of the two.
Yeah.
And I've never seen it, and I need to see it. I have to check it out for sure. I really, really need to see that because of everything you just said. I heard those things, but I remember thinking how badly I wanted to see Letters and never got a chance to see it. So, yeah, man, there's so many good ones. There's so many good movies out there, and we'll talk about them in a bit. But I want to talk about, before we get into the war schmobots here, let's bring up the big story here. What I saw this morning and I noticed this, that a lot of people are doing this hashtag of make Solo 2 happen. It's I think, it's watching the way that it's happening. I think that it's been, these are fans of the movie who want to see a sequel and things that they've been doing and putting it out there to try to get it. And it's got buzz, obviously.
Yeah.
I don't really want to see a Solo 2. I thought this first one was fine. I think that the other reason why they have a big they have a when you look at it on a studio side, that movie lost money. It lost a lot of money, and it's the biggest disappointment. It's the biggest disappointment in Star Wars film releases. Now,
oh really?
Yeah,
the biggest. Oh.
Yeah, but to be fair to the movie, it was released, and this was not Lucasfilm nor the movie's fault. It was released at a terrible time.
All Might donated $20. Hey, I can rarely watch live cause of work, so we'll chime in on the TV series thing and just say One Piece has the greatest world building and long-form storytelling ever. 23 years and running of stringing us along on a perfectly paced adventure.
What was the
It was
show?
called One Piece.
Huh.
I never heard of it, but I have to double check that out. But so going back to that, thank you for very much. We'll get back into that a little bit more. Maybe do some research on that show. But yeah, the problem is that it was released at a terrible time. It was Star Wars when it came out in 77 and then 80 and then 83 and even in the prequels came out in May. That was the date. Star Wars was always synonymous with the May. And then when Force Awakens came out in December, it was the first movie to ever break 100 million opening weekend in December ever. And then every time and then Rogue One made $1 billion in December, and it's like, okay, stick with December. You got it. Avengers Infinity War comes out a couple, 3 weeks, a month or something like that right before Solo. Or maybe 3 weeks. I don't remember what it was. And then it's released in May with little to no promotion because everyone's focusing on Infinity War. And it does not good. There are a lot of people who like it. I've always said I don't think that Altenreich's performance is bad. My personal opinion is I don't see him as Han Solo. Many people disagree with me, and they think that he fits the role well, and that's fine. And I think if they were going to make anything with Solo at all, it should be a series. And if they're going to go, because the way that it's set up with Crimson Dawn and certain things that they've set up, that you could take that crime syndicate and stuff that they set up with Darth Maul at the very end, and you could make that a series and include Solo and include, Amelia, I was going to say, Daenerys. I'm blanking on her name.
Oh yeah.
So anyway, my head's fried, guys. So you'll correct me
Clark?
in a second.
Amelia Clark?
Yes. So anyway, I think that to have a what's wrong?
Oh, it's hit my funny bone. It's not funny.
So anyway, because I wouldn't mind. I don't want to see Maul in the Obi-Wan series, but I would very much like to see him in the Crimson Dawn series and moving forward. Like, so at the end of Clone Wars that you saw, right? He goes off and he goes into and he runs the syndicate. In which, did you see Solo?
I did see Solo.
All right, so he pops up at the very end there. So there's more of his story.
That was like the big thing.
Yeah, and there's more of his story to tell leading up to the events of Rebels. So I think that if you did that, and then you threw in maybe a couple of episodes where Donald Glover comes back and does a couple things as Lando, and you have Aldenreich come back as Solo, I'd be up for that. Because okay, fine. So we're furthering along what we had in these movies. I don't need to see a second movie, and I think it's way too much of a risk for the studio to say, okay, well, first one didn't do very well, and didn't seem like a lot of people really wanted it. Then critically, it was fine, but let's make a second one when you could do all these other things, and you're trying to build out this whole new slate of films, and I think it's too big of a risk. It's too big of a risk. He does die, but he just doesn't die in that time period.
I feel like that was a tough character to do a because you've got Harrison Ford so stuck in your brain. I mean, like that. That's why I think other characters that you don't have somebody that you're like, no, Harrison Ford is Han Solo.
That's fair to say, but. A lot of people said that about James Bond after Sean Connery, right? And they clearly pulled it off. And the argument that against me, what people have made when I say he didn't feel like Solo, and say, well, he had to grow into that. You are always you.
Yeah.
The basis of who you are is always there. You might develop and be a different person significantly than you were when you were, say, like 12 years old. But the essence of you is there. I never saw the essence there for him. It's like he's always smug. He's always like to me he's more a little more timid. He's not. He doesn't seem as snarky, and it's again not his fault.
Alex Shashek donated $20. My favorite war film is 1930s All Quiet on the Western Front.
It's a great one.
I loved seeing the POV of young German soldiers while also developing their ideas of the war shifts as they battle PTSD, the death of their friends and family. Still holds up.
It's a great suggestion, Alex. It's a great suggestion. It's a great movie, and I don't think a lot of people watch it. And it's obviously based off a book, but it's a great war movie, and it is absolutely something that is not talked about enough anymore. But it's a classic film. It's a great suggestion there. So anyway, but I see when you see people tweeting it out and talking about Solo 2, it's people who love the movie, and it's I think it's one of these things clearly, and what you just saw that what had happened with Snyder Cut and how passionate fans were about that, and they wanted it, they wanted to see it, and and it happened, so. This trend of trying to get things and showing how much you love something, that perhaps it could work. And I don't think there's anything wrong with trying to get it to work.
I forgot why I was talking to my sister. And I'm like, we got to get HBO Max for some reason, and I couldn't remember what it was. And it's because that's what the Snyder Cut's coming out, right? But it's not going to be for a long. No. Is it good right now? Is there anything that I could check out?
I don't know. I don't think it's available yet.
Oh, okay.
I was funny because I saw a couple comments on our thing, and people were like, "Oh, eat crow," and I'm like, "Did you see?" In November, I said this should happen.
Yeah,
I said you have Jason Momoa coming out saying it. Fans want to see this. Release it. Don't be stubborn. And I looked and I was like, I'm pretty sure that's what I said in November. And I looked back and I said, that's exactly what I said. And it's like, you're wrong, Harloff. I'm like, no, they're releasing it. You're wrong. Again, passion's passion.
Oh no, the reason I saw it because they're offering like a 14. They're taking $3 off a month for the first 12 months or something for HBO. I saw something on Instagram and I was like,
we even talked about that.
This.
I didn't realize that back in that November show. We talked about that it could potentially be on the Cinemax thing.
Yeah.
And so switching to the Solo conversation, they might want to take a page out of what the Snyder Cut's doing. It's like, put it out because. Before streaming services, and if they would have done something with the Snyder Cut, they would have put it in theaters, and it's harder to get people to go back and to see a movie that they already seen, whether it's different or not in theaters. But on a streaming service, it's again, developing a show, I would be way more interested inside of doing a series inside of that time period, because I also think it gives them more time to develop Han Solo if they were going to do it inside of a TV series, because nobody really bitched at and granted the internet wasn't around back then, but the Young Indiana Jones series, and it was TV and it was different, but you had more time to work with it. And that's also what I've been banging the drum about, the fact that I think that Star Wars just works better at TV because you can expand it way more. So what do you guys think? Go ahead and comment. You can go to streamlabs.com/theschmodown and do that if you'd like. We're going to take a lot of your questions today. It doesn't necessarily have to be war movies. We'd love to get into that topic a little bit more and talk to you guys about it. And you can also go to streamlabs.com/theschmodown, put in the Schmobot, talk about whatever you want in general. We want to talk to you guys today. It's a holiday. You guys are in your home. Thank you for joining us today. Appreciate it. And let's see if there's any other topic. There's a lot of other topics. Speaking of staying in the Star Wars universe, I remember when they were before Lucasfilm sold, before George Lucas sold everything to
Mike
Disney.
Donated $20.
How are you?
They Shall Not Grow Old is a fantastic look at World War I made by Peter Jackson, and the restoration is truly a feat. Stay after credits for a look at all the work that went in. If anyone thinks we have it rough now, watch that and feel grateful.
Wow, I never saw that. They Shall Not Grow Old. I didn't hear that one. That's a Peter Jackson.
Tim Sim donated $20. For my favorite war movie, it's actually the 1981 German World War II U-boat epic by Wolfgang Petersen called Das Boot.
Yeah.
It perfectly depicts the lives of Germans, where some aren't full nationalists for their dictator and the horrors of war on sea.
Yep. I remember. Yeah. Go ahead.
Not to, but isn't there in Waiting for Guffman where he's showing off his odd
I don't
movie
know
collections
that movie as well.
Well, he's got this like collection of when he goes, for instance, I have a Das Boot lunchbox.
It's funny you bring that movie up because last night I was looking for comedies to watch, and that one, I went through a weird thing last night. Like, so I started watching because I had talked about it on this show years ago. There was this movie called Mr. Boogedy. We talked about it, I think, briefly.
Mr. Boogie.
Mr. Boogedy. It was like 1986.
Oh, Boogedy.
Boogedy,
Oh,
Mr.
okay.
Boogedy, and it's a Disney movie. And I didn't realize there's a very young Christy Swanson in the movie, and a very young David Faustino who plays one of the kids. and I was watching it last night. My wife goes, "What the hell are you watching?" And I go, "It's Mr. Boogedy." Right? And she's like, "All right." And I was like, "I'm only watching it because, it's like I was out there by myself." And I'm like, it just reminded me when I was a kid, I was watching it. So I watched, 15 minutes of Mr. Boogedy until I changed it again. Then I started watching Vision Quest. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. Like watching it, Loudon Swain. I think you could remake Vision Quest today in the world of MMA. I really do. I think you could do that. But it's great, Vision Quest. I watched a bit of that. Then I tuned into a World War II special last night on the History Channel about. I had forgotten how close Stalin was taking out Hitler in 1943. Like he was, because he was by no means a good dude, but he was. It was him and Mussolini and Hitler were really tight, and Hitler had looked at Mussolini as like his mentor, and so as it's all going down and the war is escalating, and Hitler tried to send in a whole bunch of armies into Moscow, and it was we tried to get it in there before winter, and it was right as winter hit, and how deadly the Russian winters are, and because you lived in Russia,
yeah,
but there was they got slaughtered, and he sent in another platoon, a big brigade, and it slaughtered. So they started to lose to Russia, and then they started building back up, and then they started this documentary was talking about Patton, and then Patton comes in for the U.S. and they camp out in part of Italy, and then they basically overtake all as Mussolini surrenders. So now Hitler was really on the wall, and that's where I had stopped because I knew a lot about it, but I was watching back and there's some shit I just forgot how close in 1943 that's why they were in U.S. is like, yeah, all right, so this fucker Stalin's about to take out.
Yeah,
they're also great, but we gotta nip this in the bud also because we can't have this fucker. It's gonna be one shit ass,
one bad for another.
Yeah, one shit ass for another shit ass. Going back to
that old saying.
One shit
Trading
ass.
a shit ass for a shit ass.
No more shit asses.
I gotta say it, and this is a horrible time to say it because you can't go to it. But
Mussolini,
a museum
in 43, they certainly said that they did, unless History Channel was lying. Oh, said Mussolini didn't surrender. Well,
okay.
They said okay. They said they did.
Well, if you can ever go to museums again, you should go to the one in New Orleans. I think it's the World War II Museum. I think it's just World War II, but it's amazing. And if you ever get to go to a museum again,
ever again, let's go back into this. By the way, the Star Wars TV talk. By the way, I remember this before all this shit went down. Battlestar Galactica's Ronald D. Moore was working with George Lucas on a series, which at that point would have been huge, because of how popular Battlestar was at that time. And Ronald D. Moore is also more synonymous with Star Trek than he is Star Wars. In his early days as a writer and a producer, this comes from Dark Horizons, by the way, on numerous Trek series, most notably on Star Trek Deep Space Nine. We're talking to Collider, and Moore reflected on his career in television and spoke at length about his involvement with George Lucas's unproduced live-action Star Wars show. It was one time called Star Wars Underworld. This is some of the quotes from Moore. I was one of several writers. There was a bunch of international writers also that they assembled. We would gather up at Skywalker Ranch once every 6 to 8 weeks, something like that, and we'd break stories together. And right after, we'd go and write some drafts and bring them back, and George and we would sit down and critique them, and then do another draft and break more stories. It was great. It was a ball. It was a lot of fun. It didn't happen ultimately. We wrote, I'd say, somewhere in the 40-something, 48 scripts, something like that. The theory was George wanted to write all the scripts and get them all done, and then he was going to go off and figure out how to produce them because he wanted to do a lot of cutting-edge technological stuff with CG and virtual sets and so on. And so he had a new thing he wanted to accomplish. And what had happened was, we wrote the scripts, and then George said, okay, this is enough for now, and I'll get back to you. I want to look into all the production things. And then time went by, and like a year or something after that is when he sold Lucasfilm to Disney. So there's so much inside of the story that I want to talk about here. The first part of it is the idea when Moore says how he would sit down with Lucas and Lucas would talk. Now, if you were talking 10 years ago, I'd be like, yeah, how involved is Lucas really? But then you see what he did with Clone Wars. He sat down with Filoni, he really developed it. You see him on the set of Mandalorian and talking about things and how involved he is in the stuff that he really loves. I had way more hopes. I'd love to see what they could actually do. This is the type of stuff that I wonder. I'd like to be a fly on the wall and understand if you said to them, what is it about this series, this Underworld series, that you don't want to do? Are you allowed to do it? Would Lucas let you do it? If there's 40 some odd scripts in the vault and you own them, why would you not make it? Does it not tie in maybe anymore to what it used to tie into? Because he said, there's this one kind of continuous thread. And that's what I'm most interested about. I would want to know why, if you own all these things, why not explore that? But that's the first thing. The other thing is, did you watch the Mandalorian part, the newest part?
I totally forgot again.
Dude, it's awesome. They show it's all about
what's this one?
It's technology.
Oh, okay.
And
that'll be great.
So how much? Let me ask you a question. How much do you think, from looking at the whole series, how much do you think was shot on location? Think about the show in general and how much was shot on location.
Well, I kind of can go off some of the things that I saw in some of the previous ones, but I think a lot of it seemed like it was done in studios.
All of it was done in studios. But they used this new technology that I think Favreau started to perfect on The Lion King and what's the other one that he did? The Jungle Book.
Jungle Book.
But it was Lion King was the one where, and the entire place is filled with screens.
Yeah.
Up above, on the side, and they rotate. So it's very different from it's something that George Lucas always wanted to do, but they have now kind of perfected the technology. So as an actor, the tough stuff that you'd always hear about the prequels, it's I don't feel like I'm in it.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I'm in it. I'm looking at green screen, there's going to be this behind you, but I can't see it. Carl Weathers is you're there. You look down the road, the in front of you, and you see the cave with the lava, and you're in the boat and all of that.
So it's they're putting it.
It's called the Unreal Engine. It's video game stuff, and it's
that's nice.
And it allows them, because I think it takes away that problem
of just looking at dots
of the green screen and the dots and of saying, well, don't worry, that's going to be clouds and all this kind of shit in the background. So just react as if it is, because the best point I saw from, again, Carl Weathers was the difference is in something like that, the green screen, you have an idea. They'll tell you, if it's me, you, I don't know, Winston and I don't know, Kate.
Yeah.
If the four of us are there, and they're like, okay, guys, here's the exact scenario of what I need you to react to. This is what you're going to be seeing on the big screen. So in your mind, that scenario is different than what I perceive. So you could be reacting very differently on that boat than I would be. Even though we had the same exact scenario pitched to us, you see things differently. However, if it's right in front of you and you see it on the sides, on top, then you can react to it, because it's there. It's real. And I thought it was so brilliant to listen to it, the way that they were doing it in it. So Haskell says the Unreal Engine is the real-time rendering of those background images, but the whole package is called Stagecraft, I see. So either way.
That's really cool. I mean, I've done a commercial where it was green screen, and they're telling us, okay, you're reacting, and there's going to be a bunch of cars that pop up and whatever. And I'm like, okay, yeah. After I saw it, I go, oh, I would have reacted completely different.
That's and I think more people are going to start doing that to see how it is, how it works. It's watch that episode, by the way, if you guys are interested in this at all, because I thought some of it was shot on location, and then you realize none of it was, and it looks so good.
Yeah, that's what I just noticed with a lot of the clip outs from the other ones. I'm like, oh, they're just that's the studio.
It's great. it's great the way that they do it. So, but that would have been, especially now, again, to see what they could have done with that series. I mean, I'm glad that, I don't know, it's just TV. TV has come a long way, even from 14 years ago, whenever this was supposed to be made. But, Clone Wars, Rebels, and Mandalorian, I think story-wise are the best things to come out of Star Wars. And then I put Rogue One, then Force Awakens. That's, to me, the best stories that have come out of this new genre, or new era, if you will. And I think that we have more. I think we have more coming. So anyway, let's see if we have anything. That's kind of the big stuff I saw out of that particular story. I wonder what you guys think about it in general. Go ahead and comment and tell us what you think. Tenet star surprised by trailer reveals.
Mike donated $20. Never sure if Medieval Wars count, but Kingdom of Heaven director's cut is a favorite in the scene where they negotiate the surrender of Jerusalem when Saladin is asked what Jerusalem is worth and answers nothing and everything. It's just perfect.
100% it counts. I mean, I think when people hear war film, I mean, Braveheart's a war film.
Yeah.
When people hear war films, I think that they right away start to think of, modern day war, whether it's modern day, but World War I or World War II or Vietnam. That's what they think of right away. But that Kingdom of Heaven, I've never seen the director's cut, and all I hear is how absolutely incredible and amazing it is. So that's one that I'd like to absolutely revisit for sure. Oh, what was that? Twitch. Why did I go to Twitch? Weird.
How'd you even find it?
I don't know. I had to hunt for it. Speaking of Twitch, look at that one. That is coming up in 2 days, ladies and gentlemen. Speaking of Star Wars here, the Star Wars tournament continues. Sean, the Saint, Sullivan, Laura, Lights Out, Kelly, they go head-to-head, and they have let their managers do the talking for them. You talk about fire promos. The best promos I've seen so far are really, there's been a lot of good ones, but I think that right now you get Kate and Shannon going after it, and I'm sure we'll hear some stuff from Sean and Laura as we get to the tournament on Wednesday. So make sure if you haven't gone on over to twitch.tv, twitch.tv/the Schmodown. Please go and check that out. Okay, more stuff here. Tenet star surprised by, what the hell is it? By some reveals. The trailer was both vague and revealing in some basic ways, so much so that even John David Washington, he was taken aback by how much Nolan actually gave away. In a Fortnite hosted interview, there's Fortnite again.
Yeah.
Don't get upset that it was on Fortnite, everybody. Following the release, Washington says he was surprised by the nuggets of information and just the breadcrumbs of information about the movie that Nolan revealed. He said, "We're familiar with Nolan's films, but this seems like something different. It seems like this is where he's about to take us for the next 10, 15 years of filmmaking." Interesting. Nolan's The Dark Knight trilogy and Inception both impacted blockbuster filmmaking for most of the last decade, so lightning may strike here again. Nolan's also earned some new fans in recent days with the reveal he's a major fan of MacGruber. I didn't see that. It's awesome. And sent an email to the guys working on the new series TV spinoff pilot saying, "Though I can't be in there in person to watch you take the first step of your odyssey, know that my spirit soars with you." And okay, we want to make sure it was MacGruber and not MacGyver. Though that my spirit soars with you, and while it's perhaps unfair to add to the great responsibility you must feel, I am duty-bound to tell you the world is waiting, the world is watching. That's pretty funny. Anyway.
Tim Sim donated $20. Funny thing, if David Lynch and Mark Frost haven't done Twin Peaks in the early 90s, TV wouldn't be as grand as it is today with The Sopranos, Game of Thrones, Breaking Bad, The Clone Wars, and Mandalorian. Think about it.
Maybe.
I'm just going to be quiet and think about it.
No, I think because of it was very different television. It was like ahead of its time television.
It was. I didn't get into it when it came out.
Yeah.
It was. I think it was just a little.
Yeah, it's.
I guess I just also heard from people about how strange it was. So then
it was weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's still ahead of its time. Where that type of those shows that were coming out at that time were not. That show's more in tune with kind of the stuff that you find on streaming these days.
Yeah.
Even though it was on network television. So, there's some good stories thus far. I'm digging it. Let's see what else. Anything else that we need to? Universal to blame for Back to the Future cut. Oh yeah, did you hear about this? Something stupid here. Back to the Future 2 writer Bob Gale has put the blame squarely on Universal Pictures rather than Netflix in regards to a recent discovery by fans that the streaming version of a movie on Netflix included a small edit. That edit removed the slightly racy cover of an adult magazine from a scene in the movie. Why? Marty McFly conceals an adult magazine in the Future Almanac, and the center of the film's story and the reveal is a key part of the film's narrative, making the edit decidedly awkward. Yeah, ooh la la, ooh la la. This version has been since replaced with the original, thank God. Showing the cover, Gale spoke with THR and addressed the train, saying it's not only has it been repaired, but it can never happen again, as they've had the edited copy destroyed. Thank God. How stupid is that? The blame is on Universal, who somehow furnished Netflix an edited version of the movie. Somebody's grandfather probably did it or something. I learned about it some 10 days ago from an eagle-eyed fan and had the studio rectify the error. Good for Bob Gale. The version now running is the uncensored, unedited original version. Apparently, this was a foreign version which neither director nor Robert Zemeckis didn't even know existed for some country that had a problem with the Ooh La La magazine cover. Shut up. I asked the studio to destroy the version. I love that. Good for you, Bob. FYI, Netflix does not edit films. They only run the versions that are supplied to them. They're blameless in this. You can direct your ire at Universal, but I think they'll be a lot more careful in the future and with the future. Well done. Yeah, that's silly. They probably got to cut it. They probably didn't even realize it.
Yeah.
They probably didn't even realize it. The cut.
I mean, if that's all that was taken out.
It was, but it's like, why would you? Who edits that? Ooh la la. Oh la la! To Pamela Anderson joins the ranks of people who are not a Baywatch film fan. I like what she said though. She said inside of the article that it was basically bad TV should be kept as bad TV.
Oh wow!
I mean, I don't think 21 Jump Street is bad TV, but I think that's also what she was saying though is a certain shows shouldn't be made, and I think that's clear. 22 Jump
Street.
Be
a Saved by the Bell film.
But 21 Jump Street and 22 Jump Street, I think, prove that you can do it the right way.
Was 21 Jump Street a bad show?
It wasn't a bad show, but I think also from listening to what she was saying was that like television in general at that particular time, although Baywatch was known for being kind of cheesy, bad TV.
Yeah. You tuned in for running down the beach.
That's right. Oh, by the way, I don't know why. I mean, maybe because we started off the show with it not being Bobcat Goldthwait's birthday. Did you ever see Don't Watch This Show with Bobcat Goldthwait?
No.
It's amazing how bad it is. But I watched it as a kid and I loved it. It's so stupid. What is this? Bobcat let me put it in Bobcat Goldthwait. And I'm gonna I don't know why stupid Yahoo does this. I hate stupid Yahoo. Bobcat Goldthwait, and he does. I think it's Showtime show. No, or is it Cinemax? I think it's Cinemax. Yeah.
How long ago was this?
Oh shit, 1986.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Don't Watch This Show Part 1. Just listen to some of this. I mean, I know you guys are going to be able to hear it. Let me see.
Hi, thank you very much. It feels very good to be here tonight. Before I get started, I'd like to share with you some good news about Mary Kay Cosmetics. Thank you very much. It feels good to be here.
It's great, but it's not good. You watch, it's great. I really, I'm going to put this in the chat room just so people can see it. Let me put it in here now too. It's amazingly wonderful. It's amazingly wonderful. Hold on, where is it? Let's see. Okay, here it is. So, take a look. Yeah. Oh, by the way, I'm not on the show tomorrow.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. It's. I have to do. I got a meeting. I got to do. So it's going to be Roca.
Stream it.
Yeah, Roca and what's his name?
Floca.
You, Roca. I got to see who else is going to tune in. Ben Goddard, obviously. So. Check that out, everybody. So, okay.
Oh, great. Now no one's going to tune in.
Yeah. Well, we're going to move in. We're going to move over to some of these questions and stuff from you guys and then talk about war films in just a bit. I just want to see if there's anything else we're missing. Anything else? No, I think that's the most part. If there's anything I missed, bringing up in the... oh, here we go. Jurassic World 4. What is that now looking likely? I thought we were already... Oh, Jurassic World 4 as opposed to what the hell is this? Let me see. Read the article, dummy. Since the first Jurassic World hit, those involved have spoken about the films as a trilogy. Oh, I see. And so next year's Jurassic World Dominion has long been seen as not just the world's trilogy closing effort, but also that of Jurassic Park franchise as a whole. That no longer appears to be the case, according to producer Frank Marshall, while speaking with Collider again. Getting a lot of scoops. Out promoting his Epics music documentary Laurel Canyon, Marshall was directly asked if Dominion was seen as the conclusion of the franchise. No, it would seem. He called the new film the start of a new era and says the dinosaurs are now on the mainland among us, and they will be for quite some time. Thank God. This is the movie I was hoping for. I hope suggesting at least one more Jurassic Park will come after Dominion. Chris Pratt, which opens June 11th, 2021. Smart. It's basically Planet of the Apes with dinosaurs now, and it's evolution finds a way. That's I love this, and I hope that this is exactly what it becomes. So sounds good to me. All right, let's get on over here. We're going to go to streamlabs.com/the Schmodown, guys. Head on over there today. Put in anything that you want to talk about today, and obviously, we want to get you guys involved in this war conversation. So if there's movies, obviously we're going to talk about Saving Private Ryan.
Dogan donated $20.
Hey, Dagan.
Hey, Raring.
Hey, Raring.
Highly recommend watching a Double or Nothing PPV from Saturday.
I heard it was good.
The Totally Bonkers Stadium Stampede match is probably the best COVID-era wrestling match. The entire show had a bit of everything, in my opinion, a perfect wrestling show.
I saw a lot of people tweeting about it. I saw a lot of people talking about it, a lot of people in our circle. And I saw people raving about it. So it's something that I would like to actually check out because I heard great things about it. I mean, people been part of the Schmodown were telling me about it. Does my stupid camera look blurry to you?
No.
Doesn't? Or is it just
I don't think so.
A little bit. I said I don't want to touch it again. We do that stupid thing that you do.
You click the manual.
Where is it? I can't.
It's on the right-hand side.
Fucking thing.
Yeah, no, that's the problem. You got to do like this reach, but it's on the right, and there's a.
Try that for me. Can you do it? You're not on there anymore.
Oh.
Yeah. I just wanted to make sure you're not on there. I don't know what button to hit. Yeah, it looks blurry. I don't know why it looks so blurry. So AEW, much better. Yeah, whatever you did, that worked. Thank you, Brett. AEW is Have you watched a single frame of AEW, Brett? No, I didn't think so. But look, I mean, Jericho is in there too. I heard that the Moxley thing was really good. Also, you ready?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Just sanitizing my hands.
Oh, you get nervous.
See, you gotta be.
Yeah, I like what you're doing.
You gotta be.
All right, that's fair.
I've never masturbated in my life.
Good job, Bobcat.
This was network.
Yeah. No. It's on it's on Cinemax.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, it was. I mean, there's some crazy shit. Yeah, I heard Mike Tyson presented the TNT title. I heard the good ladder match. All of that. Yeah, it's good stuff.
I've seen a ladder match before. That one was pretty crazy. And then I realized that they just spray paint fiberglass ladders with the silver. It looked like.
I mean, they're real ladders.
They're real ladders, but they're not.
Because people are absolutely jumping off these fucking things. It's crazy. I mean, I saw
somebody body slam somebody on top of one of them, and
it doesn't look like it feels good. Okay. I want to go back on over to, here we go. We're going to start with streamlabs.com/the and we start with Bobcat Goldthwait's birthday.
Hey, speaking of
today is not Bobcat Goldthwait's birthday. Son of a bitch. Trash Panda. Disney has the tools to continue the Young Han and Crimson Dawn storylines. Clone Wars is over and make a solo animated series. Throw it on Disney+. A movie would be great, but an animated series would seem to be smarter.
Marshall Weeks donated $20. Saving Private Ryan is my favorite war movie. Seeing that opening scene as a kid made me respect veterans even more, knowing the horrors they went through.
100%.
As a Canadian, got to give a shout out to Hyena Road as a great war movie. Thank you to all veterans.
I couldn't agree with you more. It's my favorite war movie of all time. And if Band of Brothers was a movie, I would include that.
Yeah.
But Saving Private Ryan is, I have never been, very similar to what you just said. I was watching that in the theater, and it felt like you're on the beach in Normandy, and you just understand so much more of what, because when you're a kid and you learn about it in class, you don't understand it.
Oh, no, absolutely not.
Not when you're with someone that you've been friends with and it's your buddy, and you look over and you just got mowed down by and you're trying to, and you don't even have time to think about it. You're just trying to run to a place where you don't get shot. When it's just it's insanity. And then I can't remember which one of the Medal of Honors it was, but they have that scene, and it's like it puts you right there. But it's Saving Private Ryan because, and not just that particular scene, obviously, but the mission that they have to go on and the things that they do and the ending scene. I mean, I have to watch that movie again. I love it. It's just such a great movie.
I have seen that several times. That is
great.
Yeah.
It's just a great movie. It's my favorite Spielberg movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's my favorite Spielberg movie of all time. I just think it's that type of stuff that he does. I mean, I love E.T. and Raiders is probably my second favorite Spielberg movie, but I love this when he does those types of things, the Raiders and E.T. and I just feel like when he locks into movies like that, whether it's Saving Private Ryan or Munich or Schindler's List, that's when he is like greatest of all time type. You know, that's when you say, oh, that's why he's in that conversation.
Yeah.
When you watch those movies, like he's great at the big blockbusters. I mean, even watching Minority Report the other day, it's like it's a lot of fun, but he's at his best when he's doing movies like that. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. So, sorry, Trash Panda, bringing back to what you said as far as the solo animated series. I'd be down for that. I would be much more interested in either an animated series, a Crimson Dawn series, or a solo series on Disney Plus than I would Solo 2 as a movie. I just don't think it's necessary.
And it's weird that that's trending right now, considering you can't really make anything. It's like,
oh, but I mean,
make this happen.
But if it happens in like a year from now, you know, start putting it. But they are nobody's shooting shit.
Yeah, make it happen now. We can't shoot. We're not.
Did you do anything yesterday?
Yesterday?
Yeah.
I took my daughter to a social distance thing with a friend.
Yeah.
And we walked out on Venice Beach.
How was it?
It was a mess.
Dude, my 2.5-year-old yesterday broke our hearts because she walks in and she was like, I want to go to the park.
Yeah.
And I'm like, we can't go to the park right now, honey. You know, it's just it's and she, because you know the 8-year-old, she understands that you can have the conversation. The 2.5-year-old has no fucking idea what's going on. She goes outside, she has to wear a mask. She doesn't know why. She just does it. And so we're like, you know, maybe there's no way the swings and all that shit's not going to be open.
Oh, you can't touch anything.
But if we take a walk, we should be fine. People will be wearing masks and they're going to be 6 feet apart from each other. It should be fine. It was like a year ago.
Oh, yeah.
People are we were walking through, and I had my 2.5-year-old on my shoulders, and she had the mask on, and we're walking past. And
you went to the park, or you went
to the park? We're walking. My wife was like, "This is awful."
Yeah.
Like we walk by, there were people. There's this whole family. Mother has a mask on. Kids are coughing, walking by with nothing on their faces. What the fuck? And then so we just went on the other side of it. We're walking around, and then these two joggers, these two guys, it must have been like early 20s. No mask.
Nope.
Because it's like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Yeah. See, these guys lived a block away. They live a block away from Marina Del Rey, and sadly, they lived right where that accident happened.
Yeah.
And like they were there with the choppers and stuff.
Yeah.
But like we're with the family. We all have masks on. They go, hey, let's go walk out on the beach. And I'm thinking there's going to be just a few people jogging or whatever. We stayed like way back because the front part by the water loaded with people. I would say 10% of them had masks on.
Dude.
So it was just like we kind of went out there for a little bit. You know, the girls played 6 feet apart in the sand.
No, it ruined. We did a walk. We got in the car and left.
Like driving to her house, I'm like, oh my God, there are so many people biking and running around. It's like this Washington and that Venice area, right where you get towards the boardwalk, was just insane. And today, I guarantee you, is a shit show. I mean,
people don't want to be bothered. They don't want their summers to be fucked with.
No.
I mean, I couldn't believe it. I was convinced. I was convinced that if we went to the park, people would be respectful enough because of everything you hear.
Oh, Mike donated $20. A great war game is Valiant Hearts. We'll comment trailer link, but basically Tyrese 4 characters you play as in different parts of the war solving puzzles to advance. It has a cartoony art style, but damn, it's depressing. Play if you need a great cry.
Oh.
Sounds like I go into some a lot of great war games. There's no doubt about it. Dragon R3 Born puts in a super chat, says, yay, my one day off. Has anyone mentioned Hot Shots? Great war film. It is a great war film. But seriously, We Were Soldiers is my choice. Sam Elliott is great. You know, the other one is We Were Soldiers. I have to. Is that the one? Wait, which is the one with the Hacksaw Ridge? Hacksaw Ridge is another one. Did you see?
I didn't see Hacksaw
Dude,
Ridge.
Hacksaw Ridge is a crazy one because it's a true story of what happened. This guy, he rescues all these people without any weapons.
Yeah.
He runs back and forth on enemy territory to do it. It's nuts. His Majesty's Kingdom. Anyone remember WMAC Masters? I Thought I Dreamed This Show. I don't remember that one. I'm sorry. I don't know what that is. Levi Road. My favorite TV shows are Hannibal, the 4400, the first season of Manhunter, SEAL Team. And Oz, The Wire, Prison Break, first 3 seasons of Jack Ryan, Amazon. Oh, we're doing. I mean, I guess we still have some TV shows that we didn't really talk about last time. Leftover. No, this is super chat from today.
Oh,
but all right. Hey, it is what it is. Glory is a great one. Hacksaw Ridge, Braveheart. Yeah. Red Dawn is a war movie.
Red Dawn is definitely a war movie. It doesn't have to be like an actual war.
No, but it's a war movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, crazy movie. I love that movie.
Oh yeah.
First one.
That was as a kid. That was like,
yeah, no. So
you were getting ready. You're like, oh yeah, okay. Now it was almost like a manual for like because we all thought it was going to happen. We all thought the Russians were going to invade us. And it's like, okay, yeah. Who would I get together with? Who would I band together? Who's got all the guns?
Yeah. Do you remember
which dad has all the guns?
Do you remember Harry Dean Stanton's line?
No.
Avenge me, boys! Avenge me! So good. Love. Great score too, by the way. Not talked about enough. All right. Moving over here, ladies and gents. Great suggestions coming in. Keep them coming. It doesn't have to be just the war films. We want to talk about other stuff happening in the news or anything in general. You want to leave some predictions or talk about some of the Schmodown Entertainment Network, the Schmodowns themselves. Please go ahead and do it. Very curious to what you guys think about everything going on. Like, people had asked me about the storylines, and they're glad to see that they are. What Brandon Hanna has been doing. Saul, him and Saul had a great back and forth. So, let me know. I'm very curious to hear what you guys do. Streamlabs.com/The Schmodown. Joe the Giant. My favorite war movie is Johnny Knoll. I don't know what that is. It has Daniel Bruhl and Diane Kruger, and it's about a Christmas truce between the Germans, Scottish, and French during serving in World War I. Huh. I like all those actors.
That was a thing that happened, right? Where they stopped for Christmas one day, and that everybody.
That shit would never happen today.
But how crazy is that? Like.
Respect.
If
the rules of war.
But again, if you can do that, maybe could you just stop fighting in general?
Right. Well, it's just it's a much larger conversation, my friend. House Heisenberg. My personal favorite war movies are Hacksaw Ridge. There you go. Edge of Tomorrow. I think it counts. Like what Brett said, it's a sci-fi war movie.
Yeah.
Lone Survivor. Oh, it's a great movie. Fury, another great movie. And 1917, another great movie. Those are all great movies.
Fury was insane.
Fury was awesome.
Yeah.
Fury was awesome. Like, I remember going to see Fury not thinking it was going to be good at all, because it was right during that time where Shia LaBeouf was kind of losing it a bit, and he was it's like I didn't want to like him because I'm like, and he's so good in that movie. John Barenthal's great in that movie. Brad Pitt, of course. It's a really good movie. It's Logan Lerman, right? Logan Lerman is getting really good. A lot of good stuff. What did I see him in recently? The Hunters. Is that what it's called?
Hunter series?
The Amazon series.
What
was it called?
That
what the hell was that called?
One to check though. Yeah. I thought it was called Hunters.
Hunters, right?
Hunters or the
Hunters? I can't remember. One of the two. I watched the whole fucking thing. And my daughter was pumped about the Percy Jackson series. I'll tell you that. She was excited about it.
Oh, yeah.
Announced it. She's just like, when's it out? Next week? I'm like, no, we got like another 2 years.
donated $20. Okay, one more.
What do you got?
Grave of the Fireflies is probably the most depressing movie you will ever watch, but it's so beautiful at the same time. 2 kids trying to survive at the end of World War II in Japan. Watch Schindler's List afterwards for something more upbeat.
Jesus.
Overlord,
is that considered a war movie? Someone said. Absolutely. And I'll tell you, it's another one. You talk about a movie that did you see? Overlord is one. If I have the code for that, I got to give you the code.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember seeing the trailer for that movie because World War II movies, obviously, all the ones that I mentioned, and I love. So when I said that it's going to be a zombie movie with World War II, I'm like, get the fuck out of here. And I saw the trailer. I'm like, this is going to be terrible. It's awesome. It is an awesome movie. It's so fun. And it's like the first half of the movie is like a legit war movie.
Yeah.
It's like you're watching a war movie that by the time it goes into Crazy Town, it leads you into Crazy Town. It's not just like, this movie's crazy, enjoy it. It's no. This is a war movie, and then they're stepping into fucking cuckoo town here, and this is what happens, and this is how it all ties in. I love that movie. Love that movie. It's great. Great choice. Moving back on over here. Sweaty Ben Rayner. Hey, guys. Happy Monday. My favorite war movie is The Patriot with Mel Gibson. That's a good one. We haven't talked about that one yet. The Revolutionary War is my favorite war and my favorite time period in history. And Jason Isaacs is one hell of a villain. Have a great day and stay sweaty. I think if you put war villains up there in general, he would rank in the top 3 of war villains. I think that also Ralph Fiennes would probably jump in there from Schindler's List.
And then Nazis.
You're right, in every single one. But that's... well, he is a Nazi though.
Oh yeah,
in that one, but
just in general.
But in general, but yeah, man. So that's a good one. The Patriot. I mean, especially the Heath Ledger in the beginning of that movie. You don't expect him. The character goes out pretty quick, and it was coming off of Braveheart, so you're expecting Mel Gibson to go shit house again. So it's it's a good movie.
I'd say Christoph. Waltz? Christoph Waltz in Glorious Bastards.
It's a war movie.
That's
crazy. Yeah, the alternate.
Talk about it.
Yeah, he's terrifying. That
just the smiling as you say these things is what makes him so terrifying.
Yeah. Tim Sim put in a Schmobot. Eric put in a Schmobot. Thank you. Sugar Gum. I said Kristian looked like Tom Hardy a long time ago, and he scoffed. I still scoff. I'm glad you're getting comments on saying this, too. I haven't seen many war movies, so Sound of Music and 13 Hours are my favorite.
Oh, okay.
Well, it's a nice compliment, but no, if Tom Hardy got hit in the head with a baseball bat. JJ Winward, happy Pet Judge Day. Stream Gary Busey. Oh, it's on now? Yes.
Oh, the
Pet Judge is now available on Amazon Prime. How you did not know this, I will have to tell you that I'm extremely disappointed in you. But however, today on Pet Judge, I will be judging whether or not a giraffe has the right to shop at Ralph's. Thank you. Appreciate that. I'm very much looking forward to that. Are you going to watch any of that?
What's it on?
It's on Amazon. Do you have it?
Then.
Yeah, I'm going to watch it. I can't watch it. I mean, I can't wait to watch it.
Jeffrey the Giraffe is very upset about Toys R Us closing.
It will not be closed forever. I can promise you that. People need it in their lives, Jeffrey. Please have a sandwich. I love it. PJ Campbell, the great PJ Campbell, writer extraordinaire. Brian De Palma's Casualties of War. I thought about that this morning, PJ. It's an excellent war film. We look at Michael J. Fox so frequently as a comedic actor, but that might be his best dramatic turn. Dark movie, but he and Sean Penn play so well off each other. I adored it. It's a really good movie. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I love it. Gary Busey is on. Miss Movie says Gary Busey's on Cameo for $350.
$350, huh?
I don't know if I could do $350. I don't know if I could do it, but that's a.
It's interesting the price points because when you introduced me to this and you were like, go look at some of the and I was looking at some of the price points. I'm like, oh really?
Yeah, people really put a lot in. Mine's $15.
Yeah,
I'm putting. Someone said to me, I won't say who. They're like, why you do 15? Do 100. I'm like, 100.
100.
Fuck wants to hear me say happy birthday for $100.
Yeah.
So I do $15. It's like to make it cheap. There's other people on there like I don't know. Maybe to them they think if they get one, it's I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, shitwads. We need to come up with $350. I know. If we did one though, for the show. Hello, SEN. This is Gary Busey. Please watch my show and watch SEN. Hey, everybody, have you ever chewed on bottle caps? I promise you, it is an aphrodisiac.
There's a question there. Can you use these cameos as promos?
Yeah,
you
people
can.
I've done one.
Really?
Yeah, that's what they do.
Oh, I didn't know. I didn't know they had then the rights to that actual.
All rules to it. I mean, you're out there doing it. Yeah. So maybe I don't know. I would love to do it though. Hey everybody!
Hey Kristian, do this commercial for pro pedophilia.
No thanks, not that one. Hey everybody, this is Gary Busey, and you're watching Schmodown Entertainment Network. Who do you think will win between Laura Kelly and Sean Sullivan? And who won the promo war? Is that right? Is that what you want me to say? $350 now, stupid. Age in Office. Hey, Kristian, I watched both Fantastic Beasts movies this weekend, and after your brief mention last week, I enjoyed both of them. Cannot wait until the next movie. Brett, keep being awesome. Love Brett and Kate's Playdate setup show. Yes, me too. And by the way, Brett, Brett last week did this thing You did the thing that I did the following week. On Patreon, we sent out the link to all patrons on SEN Live, and then you brought in actual people on the patrons on the video to ask how did it go?
I think it went so well that I think we're going to do this again. Kate was able to drop in, which was nice. She had started to have a little bit of trouble with her internet because I think she just went to her phone quick instead of getting her set up. But, yeah, no, it was great. And lots of good conversations. I don't think anything went too long. Anything, and people actually had some great questions. And, yeah, I had a great time.
We might do that again on Friday for these guys and bring in some of the fans. And I might do something this week to bring you guys in. So either patron will do it. So if you go to patreon.com/schmodown or patreon.com/SEN Live, we are going to do a lot of these shows where you guys can get involved in it more. So please join today.
And seeing faces and finally,
putting names,
quote, meeting people, it was interesting.
Yeah.
It was interesting also too when there were moments where it's like, "Hey Ian, do we have anybody else waiting?" "No?" "Okay."
Oh, really?
Or people would pop in. We got 3 on the queue, and then they'd go, he goes, "Oh no, they left."
Oh, they left.
They didn't want to sit around.
Yeah. Well, we did this for last Wednesday for the Schmodown match, and we'll do it again on Wednesday. At the end of the Laura Kelly and Sean Sullivan match, $10 and up patrons will have an opportunity to join the stream and ask either Sean or Laura, depending on who wins, and their respective managers, whoever wins, questions about the match.
That's cool.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. Let's get back to some more of these questions. A lot of great questions. Again, war movies here today. Anything about the news in general that you want to talk about, streamlabs.com/the Schmodown. Schmobot is on. Interrupt if you choose to. D-Train, who's your favorite soldier in a war movie? Mine is Private Jackson, played by Barry Pepper in Saving Private Ryan. He's pretty great. I have a lot of different ones, but the one that comes to mind is Taylor Kitsch in Lone Survivor. I think that he's great in that. Black Hawk Down is another movie we haven't talked about. A lot of great. So speaking of Tom Hardy, a lot of great soldiers in that particular movie. Also considering true story and things that happened there. So yeah, man, there's a lot
of
Forrest Gump. I mean, he was a soldier.
He saved so many people.
He was a soldier. Yeah. Doc Dredd 2. Why did that? Okay, Doc Dredd 2. Hey, ding dongs. As far as war movies go, mine's kind of a cheat. Overlord, there we go. Starts off like an intense episode of Band of Brothers, 100% it does, and then all of a sudden it becomes Castle Wolfenstein. World War II action mixed with an awesome exploitation horror shock.
Castle Wolfenstein.
Dude, it is, I'm telling you.
I love that game.
What he just said is 100%. That is the perfect description of this movie.
Yeah.
Perfect description. It is absolutely dead on. Ryan Chandler, Morning Kristian and Brett, Paths of Glory is one of my favorite war films. It's Kubrick, so it's obviously a masterpiece, and all the performances are amazing. Shout out to Timothy Carey. Also, Kate's video with Trying Not to Suck As Hard is classic. So, yeah, they went back and forth, those two. I mean, that's a war right now. The two of them. The promo wars have begun. And I think that you're going to see a lot of them as the stories keep picking up for Schmodown. Obviously, each week we will be having these big matches, and as the Inner Geekdom happens, you're going to see
Mike donated $20.
More.
The newest Call of Duty has a short but really good campaign. Some really intense encounters and crazy levels, including one that would probably make Mark Ellis aroused, as it's basically a recreation of 13 hours.
Oh, he loves 13 hours. I didn't hate 13 hours. I just wouldn't give it 5 out of 5 schmoes like Ellis did. But it's decent. It's definitely one of his more decent movies for sure.
I love how my head makes a perfect graphic placement for that
we should put it
GIF.
there. Yeah, I'll put it there.
It keeps every time it pops up. It's
goes
like
right
in
over
the middle of my. It's like I'm doing that.
It's like a billboard.
What's your character name in the?
It's a good billboard for you. House Heisenberg again. It was revealed a few SENs ago that Brett has never heard of Black Sails, and I am just shocked. If you and your wife like Vikings, you will fall in love with Black Sails. It takes several episodes to find its groove, but quickly turns into something very special. Kugo always talked about that movie.
I sent her the IMDb thing of it and said this is something we need to check out.
Oh, you already did?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Hotel Nerd, hey, Kristian. Want your permission to use the MTS and Dungeon logos before putting up a thumbnail for Galagos' appearance on Hotel Nerds podcast. Yeah, you can go ahead and do that. That's fine. I have the utmost respect for you and the brand as well as everyone involved. I will always ask permission. You go ahead. I mean, if you're putting on a thumbnail, that's fine. You're not making your own game out of it. That's totally cool. Gavin Min, my sophomore history teacher showed us Glory, which was the first war film I ever saw. The performance by Broderick, Freeman, Washington, Elwes were amazing, and James Horner's soundtrack was one of the first I ever bought on CD after Star Wars, of course. Glory is a fantastic movie because Denzel Washington had been around, but that's the one, I think, well, he won the Oscar, didn't he? You win it or you nominated? I can't remember, but either way, he was, that's the one that everyone said, oh, who's that guy?
Yeah.
I don't think he won it. I think the first one he ever won for was Training Day. But either way, so he was nominated for it, and that's a great movie. And because at the time, like, Matthew Broderick was like the main star of that whole thing. So it's funny when you go back now and you watch and you just look at that cast. Alex Shashek with the Schmobot. Justin Square. Happy Mondays, guys. This is a random question for you. The cut scenes for Season 5 and Season 6 on MTS were released. Will we also get the cut scenes for 4 and of the first Spectacular? The four, I thought that they were released. I know that they were done. Maybe they never put out? Because they were done. Also, how different would this season be if Winston kept his number 1 draft spot? No shit. It's true. He lost it because that was my goof, but it could be very different. Winston has proven to be an absolutely
Josh
incredible
Barnett donated
manager.
$20. If we are including games, then Spec Ops.
Sure, why not?
The line has to be talked about. It's one of the best written war stories ever, regardless of medium. It takes a hard look at the mentality of war with an impressively unexpected twist.
Perfect. For audio listeners, Brett's not laughing at the man's comments. He's laughing. I just put the schmobot on his face.
I will always move my head towards that little GIF, and then I'll just do this, and then people can clip that.
Billboard. Love these suggestions on the video games too, and I think it also for the gamers out there listening, they probably agree, disagree, really agree, somewhat agree. So, yes. So,
click one.
Winston is a great manager. He's a great manager. He's proven to be, his personality alone, you knew he was going to get along well, but I was very impressed with him of how well he learned the game, how he learned the history of the game, how he did his research on the game, how he knows a lot. Like, and you hear him talk about, he knows ex-champions, won matches, who they won titles against, who feuds. I've been a massive fan of him, but you really win me over when you study the league the way that he does. He really knows it well. So I'm a big fan of Winston, and I think that Winston will, if he doesn't, look, they're in second place right now. If they have an opportunity to, take first, it's coming around the corner. So, all righty. Heading back on over, everybody. Once again, happy holiday to you guys today. We're talking war movies. Please go ahead and put in your Streamlabs now if you want us to talk about anything in particular. If there's anything that really you remembered that you watch over and over again, why it impacted you, streamlabs.com/schmodown. Justin Square, happy Monday, guys. Oh, you did that one, sorry. Markaturi, happy Memorial Day from Canada. Platoon is my favorite movie of all time. The narration is great, and the village scene changed my view of filmmaking. I also love the very end and the dedication to the men who died in the war.
Mike donated $20. Has anyone asked Roka about how Kingdom of Heaven compares to what happened at the actual battle? Seriously though, let's all recognize Maroka Inman and any other service members involved in the league that I forgot.
100%.
Oh,
absolutely.
Definitely.
To everybody. Absolutely to our Schmodown vets. And but when it comes to it, just in general, like I said, my dad was a Vietnam War vet, and everything that anyone had ever done for service. Thank you so much. I know we have a lot of people in service that watch us and that are fans, and thank you for your service, and thank you very much for everything. And I know that we had somebody last week who said that they were going off, and
that's right,
and they weren't able to watch for a little bit because they were going off to serve. So everyone, stay safe, and peace, man. I just wish it was one of those things where you just snap your fingers, and like I tell Roxy, my superpower that I want.
Yeah.
It's like, she's like, it's an evil power. It's not. Imagine being able to sit in a room with all the leaders in the world and having the right words that no one in the world has.
Yeah.
But you have the right words to make every one of those people say, all right, maybe we'll just stop fighting. Maybe we'll just stop doing it.
Work this out a different way.
That's a superpower to me. Anyway, getting back on over to Mark Aturi, who says, Happy Memorial Day from Canada. Platoon. Oh, yeah, Platoon. You talked about Platoon. My dad, that's my dad's favorite movie of all time. And I did I ever tell you that? I don't know if I told it on, I must have told it on the air once or twice. And you guys can tell me if I did. So there was this game called, not the movie, but there's a game called Major League Baseball. And it was a Nintendo game, and I loved it. And it was kind of a playoff of the old RBI baseball. And I loved it. I played it all the damn time. And I found a way that I could record it on VHS, but I didn't have any blank VHS tapes. So I grabbed one, and I recorded a game of Major League Baseball over Platoon, which my dad watched all the time. Very rarely did I see my dad upset or yell. That is one of those times. And I felt terrible. I felt terrible that I taped over Platoon with Major League Baseball. Somewhere I have to find that. It's a great game. It's a great game. But now that this Blu-ray, now if I could find that tape, I wouldn't feel bad about it.
No,
because now you can buy them a Blu-ray, and you can have it. You can't buy that game.
No,
you can't buy that game. I mean, you can buy the actual cartridge, but the actual game that I played.
Yeah.
I don't know who hit a home run in that game. That might have been a very classic moment.
Hey,
so it might have been the right move, I think. All right. Thank you, everybody, for dealing with me. Tongue Punch Fart Box. Realized there are tons of war movies I wanted to see, but I haven't. I was told Red Dawn 2012 was trash. It is, but I loved it. Oh, sorry. I think it stinks. 300 and Rogue One are up there, too. Rogue One is definitely a war. It's Star Wars, man. 300 also. Does Shooter or Tropic Thunder count? I don't know if Tropic Thunder counts as a war movie. Shooter, I think, kind of does. I don't know. Love those two. Want to contribute to the topic more, but I can't. Sad. Fair enough. All Might, Schmobot. Tim Sim, Schmobot. Justin the Juice. Sorry I missed the TV discussion, but an underrated show was a late 90s comedy called The Newsroom. Oh, I mean, well, not that Newsroom, right? Nobody has seen it, but it's ahead of its time because it's like Curb meets The Office. The lead character is a lot like Michael Scott, and it's free on YouTube. Well, yeah, I guess there's two different newsrooms.
Yeah,
I never heard of that one.
Well, there was News Radio. Is that
the one? Which is the one? No. The Newsroom. The one that was the one on HBO with Olivia Munn, and isn't that the Aaron Sorkin one? Wasn't it called the Newsroom? I thought it was. I'm telling you, man. Like this is why I couldn't compete in the Schmoy anymore.
Newsies?
No, it was called the Newsies. Kevin Smith was in one of those. Hold on. Yeah, am I right? The Newsroom, isn't it? I thought it was the Newsroom.
Newsroom.
Yeah, Newsroom. It was Newsroom. HBO. HBO-y. So, I still have never watched that.
There's a little more of this.
Thank you very much. It feels good to be here tonight. It does not feel good to be here tonight.
Thank you very much. Transformers 1986. I guess that's a war movie.
Hey.
Why not? Tim Sim again with the Schmobot. Justin the Juice. Thank you. Matt Chapman. Dr. Strangelove, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb. Hilarious satire that is incredibly funny and relevant. I think Schmodown competitors could get a lesson on character work from this film. # release the Weird Heels cut. That's funny. I'll tell you, man. I think that Brandon, Hannah, Kate, Shannon, Kaiser. I think they're doing it. I think they did it right last week. I think it was a good. I think they're really playing into it. I think I disagree right now. I think that the character work they're starting to get a real hold of. Doc Dredd 2. Not war movie related, but that new episode of The Gallery is incredible. Favreau's use of the volume reminds me of how Lucas was always trying to push the medium of film forward. Kathleen Kennedy looked clueless. Now, I don't know about that. I mean, the one thing I'll say, this is something that I really felt good about watching it when Kathleen Kennedy was talking. Like the one thing that I always feel that, and I've said it a million times over, I think she's a phenomenal producer. She's a great producer. I worry when she's too involved in the creative process of it, not because she's not a creative person. I just think I don't know how much she really loves Star Wars, like the way that if you put her next to like Deborah Chow and Favreau and Filoni, granted they're directors and they're creatives, but Favreau's a producer. I just don't know if she loves it as much as they do. But I think as far as an overall producer goes, she gets the job done. And I think inside of this part 4 here, we learned that. There was something that Favreau said. He's like, I was there's people that I needed to meet, and it's starting and Kathleen Kennedy made it happen. And that's the kind of shit, like it's like the phone call, the kind of personality is, she's the producer that gets things done. When you have a team working like that, I believe that's why Mandalorian worked, because it was just like, okay, guys, what do you need? I need you guys to make the best product. I'm a producer, and I need to produce to you the things that you need. So what can I help you to produce the tools to make this thing the best it can be? And I think I hope that is a rhythm that continues on, because I think that she should get credit for that. I don't think a lot of people I don't think she was clueless as far as that goes. I have to disagree. I think when it comes to producing aspects, she produces and gets shit done, and she's a very respected producer. I just worry about a lot of creative decisions sometimes that are made. But hey, as long as Mandalorian still keeps being good, I'm not going to complain about shit. Eric. Mussolini was placed in custody after his campaign failed in 1943, then rescued by German commandos and placed as a leader in northern Italy until 1945. Well, there you go. When he was captured and executed. History Channel can be a bit hit and miss. I think it was that particular time, like it was his campaign failed in 1943 and he was placed in custody. They said that maybe it was the army in general that had surrendered to the Allies at that point. Maybe that's what they were saying. Bruce Leroy. Hey! Speaking of Vision Quest, when Brock Lesnar was in WWE, I wanted to see him walk up stadium steps carrying a big giant log. No shit, like shoot. To bring it back to the topic, my favorite war movie, without question, is The Great Escape. Perfect movie, perfect cast. Go Huskers. I got to revisit The Great Escape. I haven't seen that movie in a long time. Steve McQueen. And have you seen it recently?
Not since, no.
I haven't seen it in a long time. I don't really remember it. I remember watching it with my dad, but I don't remember it. Tim Sim with a Schmobot. Matt Chapman. I just watched Apocalypse Now from start to finish for the first time a couple of weeks ago. It really is a good movie. It is an incredible slow burn that really illustrates the horrors of war. No shit. Speaking of horrors of war, hashtag release where the heels cut. We're doing that again, huh? I didn't even realize. Yeah, it's like maybe just that. But I don't know about the whole cut, but maybe just the actual clip of him saying "We're heels." I was trying to protect them, guys. Buttered Butt Biscuit. All right, this is a new one.
Hey.
Lots of great war films were already mentioned, but I also wanted to shed light on war video games. I think a generation of folks learned about war history and military through games like Battlefield, Call of Duty, and Company of Heroes, for better or for worse. I don't disagree with you. I think that a lot of new generation figured that out through video games, and I think it's a good thing. I think it's a really good thing that they were able to do that, because, that's how you learned to meet. When we were younger, the medium was definitely movies and TVs, and the video game business is it makes more than movies, and and there are a lot of people who play them. A lot of younger generation playing those games, and that's how you learn. Dagan put in the Schmobot, Eddie314. Fans are using their voices more than ever online now after the Snyder Cut news. Hashtag Save Daredevil and released the air cut for Suicide Squad have been picking up steam on Twitter. Do you think both are a possibility? So here's the one thing you gotta. It depends on how much buzz things get and how much support that they get. It's not. It starts like if you want to use the Snyder Cut for an example, right? You have the director himself who's saying, "I have this thing," and then there are the the fans obviously were very passionate about bringing it back, and there was a whole army of people who wanted to have it come back. And you couple that with the fact that then the big stars are saying it exists. We want it to come back. Again, this is what I didn't realize. This is how much we talked about this in November. That we talked about. Clearly, it exists because these people are talking about it. So it is a property. It's already a thing that exists. So bring it in and let people see it. Now, when it comes to these other things, there's always been people championing their shows to come back that were canceled. Sometimes it works. You look at something like the Family Guy. Family Guy had I think, been canceled, and then it did really well on like Blu-ray or DVD or something, and it came back. So these things have happened before. I just think that it's also the studios feel like they have to be able to make money, and this is why we're talking about like Solo. When you look at Solo, if there was people in a room and they're going, "Oh, the fans seem to really want this Solo too," yeah, but is that going to transfer over to box office dollars? Or does it make more sense to us to either do what the one guy had suggested with an animated series on Disney Plus or a series on Disney Plus? Where does our investment pay off more? Will some of those people transfer over and come on over and become Disney Plus subscribers if we make a series? Or do we take the big gamble and make a sequel to a movie that didn't make enough money?
Yeah.
Now, even if we don't, but we didn't release it in December. Yeah, but we have all these other particular movies right now that we just talked about, whether it's Taika Waititi's movie or there's a couple other people who announced to have movies, and Kevin Feige still hasn't announced his movie. Are we going to put our chips in the solo basket right now when we're trying to get away from anything that we've done? So it just depends. It just depends on the circumstance, I think, overall. Okay. I want to now get to Marshall Weeks and the All Might who put in Schmobots. Thank you. Troy. Have to shout out Saving Private Ryan and Black Hawk Down as the greatest of all time. For a slightly more obscure film, I've always enjoyed The Great Escape. There you go. The planning and execution of The Escape is so nerve-wracking. I have to go back and rewatch it. I think it was also my first exposure to Steve McQueen. I have to go back and watch that movie. The last time I saw anything about The Great Escape was in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. You know, when they showed that scene where and it looked great when they kind of superimposed Leonardo DiCaprio in that role.
I've got a great Steve McQueen.
Yeah.
There was a mom at the preschool that was trying to find some kids' shoes, and she's like, so and so has lost his Steve McQueen shoes, and I'm like, I think it's Lightning McQueen.
Imagine he has Steve McQueen shoes. That'd be a badass kid. Shows up in Steve McQueen shoes. Fuck, I'd want to be friends with that kid. That's awesome. Okay. Here he is, the Green Flamingo. The Green Flamingo says my favorite war movie is Last of the Mohicans. Still my favorite DDL movie. I bit into oranges without peeling, and I eat bananas upside down. Hannah Montana is my second most hated Hannah behind the scumbag in the IG division. Well, nice job. Yeah, you know what? Last of the Mohicans. I started watching that the other day. I love that movie. And my wife bailed on it.
Really?
Love it. She thought it was too dull. I love that movie. It's one of my favorite movies. And I saw there, I don't know where I saw some list going around of Michael Mann movies. And I think the list had ranked Last of the Mohicans at 6. And I said, I got to stop looking at this list because it's not accurate anymore. It's their list. I kid. But that's in top 3 Michael Mann movies for me. It would probably be number 1 is Heat. Number 2 is Collateral. Number 3 is Last of the Mohicans. That would be my top 3 Michael Mann movies. All right, Alex Shashek again. My favorite military-focused movies, such as Private Benjamin or Stripes, not war movies. That's fair. Okay. Private Benjamin are good. Alex bringing out the old school classics. Yeah. I like that. Private Benjamin. Great with Goldie Hawn. King Nirvana 24. One of my favorites is Apocalypse Now. Also being biased, was made in Philippines. One of my favorite. With one of my favorite story where they used the Army's helicopter for the scenes, but when they heard the Communist Army are in the mountains, they leave the area to go fight. When was the last time you saw Apocalypse Now?
Oh,
forever, right?
Maybe college, actually, to tell you the truth.
Troy, do short documentaries count? I'm obsessed with stories of Medal of Honor recipients. Netflix has a great series just titled Medal of Honor with survivor interviews and quality reenactments.
Nope, real war heroes do not count.
I spent hours at the Air and Space Museum watching similar docs.
No, I would say 100%.
Yeah. Marshall Weeks. Troy, this is one we haven't heard, is also one of my favorite war movies because I love Greek history, and the war between the Greeks and the Trojans is one of the most well-known. Yeah, and with the Trojan horse and everything that goes down there, too. And it just, that movie, the war scenes are great. The problem is it just loses focus.
You didn't like that
Lucas
one.
Shashek donated $20.
Hey, Lucas.
Alex spent a week on Rocha's show, and now all of her favorite movies are from the 1930s.
That's right. Alex is now Rocha's co-host.
That's what I heard.
On the Outlaw Nation, which is great. Yeah, I mean, well, he's probably making you do some homework too. But you got to watch all the movies that he was in college for. So I think the first one is Gone with the Wind. Thank you, Lucas. I appreciate that. What was it? There was something I was going to say there.
Troy.
I do like Troy. I like a lot of Troy. The problem that happens with Troy, I think that what they did with Orlando Bloom, and it's nothing against Orlando Bloom's performance, but they made him he's such an unlikable coward.
Yeah,
and he's grabbing on to the feet. He's just so unlikable in that movie. And I don't think there was any. I don't remember that Percival. Is it Percival? I don't remember his name, but whatever it is, I don't remember him being like that. And Achilles is awesome, but he's not likable. He's kind of a horrible person. But he's, after Hector dies, which is what happens, just there's no one to root for. And the movie is just all right, I guess it's going to, there's the heel thing. And then it's over. That's my heel.
My Achilles heel.
King Nirvana, thank you so much. Troy. Marshall Weeks and Morse Code Z. There are a lot of wars in all the Middle Earth movies. That's true.
Yes.
Absolutely. I mean, the whole movie is war. I mean, even I'm watching, that's what I have mentioned. I've been watching all the extended cuts with my oldest daughter and my wife. It's when you watch the extended cuts of Lord of the Rings, by the way, and you watch them as like hour and a half episodes, It feels like you're watching a television show. And so we've been doing that, and we're about an hour, almost 2 hours into the second movie of the extended cut. And it is absolutely a war movie. Like, it starts to even says that the war has begun, and the 10,000 orcs are coming in. That scene when Saruman's at the top and he sees and Grima is up there, and they look out the side and they see the army, and that evil tear goes down Grima's face. It's it's absolutely a war movie. It's a great movie. Great series. I'm really enjoying revisiting it, by the way. Okay, so Alex, thank you. King Nirvana, thank you. Troy, Marshall Weeks, Morse Code Z. There are a lot of wars. We did that one already. Sorry, that's the one we just did. I've never thought of many of the movies discussed today that way, but the conversation certainly makes the idea of question a war movie slice much more diverse. Yeah, that's true. There is. I mean, we do have a war movie slice, though. All Might with the Schmobot, Josh Barnett, All Might, and now The Void. Tom Segura recently pissed off wrestling fans on his podcast. Last week, he released a promo video as Mystic Rick, where he used cameo clips of Ric Flair, Hart, and Angle talking about how great Mystic is, great heel heat. Hey, if you get people talking about you, then you're doing whatever you're doing. Yeah, people are tweeting me about that over the weekend about stuff. It's like I don't involved in that kind of shit. It's like, it has nothing to do with me. Keelix, a couple of very good war films with Clint Eastwood. I really enjoy are Kelly's Heroes and Heartbreak Ridge. Both underrated in my opinion. Heartbreak Ridge for sure. I think let's see. Keelix. Yeah, we did. That's one we just did.
Yep.
Nick Piccolo. I know we're talking about war movies, but do you guys have any war items from a family member that fought in a war? My dad's Purple Heart. Yeah. My dad has a great uncle's parachute knife from when he landed on D-Day and a German sword he took from a German shoulder. Holy shit. Holy shit.
I have a German bayonet.
Do you really?
And the story was not something the small child should hear of how...
Well,
yeah, no, it was just like he found it off of...
a dead soldier?
Yeah. And it went in like this little box or whatever. Damn. I'm like... Thanks, Grandpa.
Lucas Shashek, thank you.
I'm 8.
And Miss Movies. In the vein of Memorial Day, have you seen the documentary, The Tillman Story? No, I haven't. If you have Amazon Prime, you can watch it for nothing. I mean, obviously remember that story very much so, but I've never seen it. Never seen that.
Eric donated $20. Hey, Raring.
Hey.
One of my fave war movies is Dunkirk. It's also my second fave Nolan movie. I love the suspense the movie built throughout the movie with the music. It really felt like you were there on the beach stuck with them. The Stuka dive siren is terrifying.
It is. I'm a big Dunkirk fan. Loved that movie.
Didn't see it.
Oh, I love that movie. Thought it was so well done, and I mean, love that movie. It's brilliant. I think it's a brilliant film, and yeah, I have that one over there somewhere. I had an extra one.
Dunkirk.
Give me that one, you little jackass. Go over to Super Chat. Levi Road. Favorite war movies are Deer Hunter, Thin Red Line. Thin Red Line I couldn't get into.
Thin Red Line.
It was a little dull. And Black Hawk Down. Sorry if you get this twice. I don't know if my first one
wasn't Thin Red Line one of Colin Farrell's first. Am I making that up? Am I stupid?
No, it's not necessarily stupid. It might have been when he was going through that whole thing. I mean, his first movie I remember seeing him in was Minority Report. That was the first one. Dragon Arth Reborn. Yeah, we did that one. His Majesty's Kingdom. Also, Levi Road, my favorite TV shows. We did that one also, right? Yes. Levi Road, Deer Hunter, Glory, Thin Red Line, Fury, and Schindler's List. That's the
Schindler's List.
Schmoes of the North. Hey, Rundown Crew. This is from the other day. Frenchie is Schmoes of the North is a really fun show, by the way, too. I did that, by the way. I wanted to do a posting. There's so many after shows now.
Oh, yeah.
But they're so good. There's so many good. I listen to it. Now I have more to listen to. I listen to Rundown every Saturday. Listen to Brad and Frank. That's my go-to. I've been listening to Andrew DeMolante's show on Mondays. I listen to Let's Get Ready to Schmo Down. I was listening to the Schmoes of the North with Frankie on. So I was listening to that. And there's some other really great ones. So check it out on the Red. Facebook.com. It's the Schmodown Facebook group, and there's like a list if you want to check out some of these things. All right, going back over. Chris Ayala. What's Logan Lerman's better war movie, Fury or The Patriot? I forgot he's in The Patriot. He plays one of the 7 children Mel has in Patriot. He also played a young Mel for the movie What Women Want. Wash your hands and ass, people. That's true. I have to say the better war movie for him is Fury, because he has, he's one of the soldiers. He has way more to do. It's a bigger role. Where is the flouse? Does Major Payne count? That movie came to mind as I was listening to the show and giving myself a haircut. I don't know if that counts. I don't know. Do you think that counts?
No.
Probably not.
But I mean, it's a great film. I'm not gonna.
It's like that's my eyes are killing me. So all right, we'll stick around for a little bit here. We got Brett Sheridan, myself, Kristian Hartman, and you guys as we're talking about war movies, and streamlabs.com/the Schmodown. If you want to put any Schmobots in there, go ahead and do it. And we have, you know what I'll do, Brett? I'm going to go back. I'm going to see if we missed. I know we missed a handful because of all the technical glitches. You see what I'm saying, though? We don't have on Zoom.
Yeah.
No, nothing glitchy.
No zooming, no
and they
clicky.
what they told me. A lot of people told me that apparently YouTube doesn't like third party streaming things inside of it or whatever too. So that's why it's a bit of a bitch about it. So I'm trying to work with RB3 to see if there's something else I can do, because it's been a real pain in the ass. I'll tell you that.
Real bitch.
Real bitch in the balls.
Just to clarify, I knew that Colin Farrell was some recognition. I think it was Tigerland.
Tigerland was the one.
That was kind of where got his name got out there. Sorry, guys.
Yep. I'm going to just go back to some of these ones that I missed before, and if you guys want to chime in with some of these as we close out. KP said, my favorite show is probably all 3 seasons of Daredevil on Netflix. Wish they could have done 4th and final. Yeah, I mean, that was a whole crazy shit the way all that went down. Philly G loved the Mary Tyler Moore Show. She was awesome, playing off other great guests, Ed Asner and Ted Knight. Mr. Show with Bob and David was also great.
Yes.
Mother, father. It's such a great. I mean, I don't know. I want to say that you had introduced me to that. I can't. I don't know if that's true though. I know I was watching it right around that time when we met. And I loved that show.
That's another thing. I bought Family Guy DVDs. I bought Mr. Show DVDs.
Yeah.
That was another one where I had all the seasons at one point of Mr. Show.
I don't think that they get enough credit for the gimmick of that show. Like everything tied in.
Yeah, the blending.
It all tied in.
Yeah.
And they would go back to it. It was like all one narrative. I thought it was so clever.
I mean, Sarah Silverman was on.
Yeah,
and
man.
A lot of great people.
Great ones in there too. PLD, not quite the TV series, but my favorite miniseries was the 1980 minis V. And also the follow-up, V, The Final Battle. The weekly series was campy and a guilty pleasure at best, but the mini-series were phenomenal. Robert Englund, man, for sure. Chris Adams, Burnett is having the same issues with Super Chats. YouTube isn't letting third-party services pick up on Super Chats. Highly recommended if people want to guarantee their chat is read, use Streamlabs instead of Super Chat. It's true. I don't know if we've missed any today, but that was all the ones that registered, so I don't know what the hell they're doing. Ben Wellington, great to hear Riley on the show last week talking Clone Wars. Enjoyed the finale quite a bit. I think Rebels is better. The creative team is the same, but with Rebels they expanded on the cosmic and living Force lore so well with Ahsoka. Be well. Let's see. Okay, we did the KP one. Emmanuel 323, an MTS question. Any hints at the league's plans for singles and teams yet? Because if we go straight into the tournaments for these divisions, it might be better for Bateman to sit them out, considering he has a number 1 contender spot in both. So there's no definitive plans for either. There are things that have been talked about. So right now, obviously, we're doing the Star Wars tournament, which is every Wednesday. And then the Inner Geekdom tournament begins in June, first week in June. Patrons will get the first play-in Inner Geekdom match early on June 1st, Monday and Tuesday. And then as far as singles, talking about a big, massive tournament. And then teams will probably be last, because my goal is that I hope that at least by November we have some kind of social distancing in-studio shooting that we can do, and then we could do a big teams tournament where we air 3 or 4 a week if we have to. So, again, nothing planned for sure. Soggy Mini Muffins put in a Schmobot.
I got to piss.
Go ahead. Nick Kittleus-Ved. And Nick Kittleus-Ved says, just finished Hannah's stream. It was excruciating. Talk about a dollar store Andrew Guy. Hey, I would take Goddard shouting, "We're heels any day over Hannah's horrible heel laugh." Rooting for Saul big time in this match. I disagree with you. I think Hannah's doing a great job, and I think that he's doing exactly what he's. Look, Andrew Guy is one of the best heels maybe this league's ever seen. One of the best performers that we've ever had. The problem with Andrew Guy is that he's likable. Andrew Guy is likable, and sometimes when you're so likable, even though I hate him so much, but I still got to cheer for him. It's a problem when you want somebody to be a bad guy. Brandon Hanna has been not likable at all. He's been despicable and awful, and he doesn't think he's being awful. And he's been great, and his slow talking, it drives you nuts. So today I'm going to discuss exactly why I am here today. You want to reach through the fucking camera and strangle him, and that's what the point is. He's getting super, super heel heat at the moment, and he's doing a good job. So, anyway. Okay. So, I think that is everything. Let's, no. Ramon Fritz talked about, it's been a while since I've donated. Today's my 23rd birthday. Brace yourself. $23 worth of donations. I'm bummed that Everybody Loves Raymond was never mentioned in the last 2 days. A lot of people love that show. I never really watched it too much. He also follows up. Appreciation post to my girlfriend next. I've known her for 16 years, so when we eventually got together, it felt natural. She saved my life on several occasions as I continue to struggle with depression. I'm blessed to have her, my family, in my life. Ramon, thank you for sharing that. And SEN has been the only, this is from Ramon, SEN has been the only constant for me since it started last year, and I'm grateful for everything you guys have done for me and everyone else struggling. Could we get Christian's take on Snyder's thoughts of the inner geekdom using just fart noises? Thanks. I'm not using just fart noises, but I can tell you that Snyder is Snyder, and he's and I think that the best comparison that I'd ever heard was
Lucas Shashek donated $20.
Hey, Lucas.
Christian makes a great point here. The hitman is completely unlikable.
Oh, wow.
It's true. He is. I mean, that's the point. He's turned his back on everybody, and he's not. This is one of the reasons. Like, I'll tell you right now, and I'd said it forever. I didn't know what to do with him for the longest time. I would put Brandon Hanna in a live event tomorrow because they would boo him out of the building. Mm-hmm. It would be so loud when he walked in. The boos would be deafening, and there are only so many people that can take that. There's only so many people that can take the comments of, like, this is one of the things I try to tell the moderator sometimes on a match. When people are commenting against, like, the character or someone on the desk, you can't delete those. You can, if you're going into something where it's like, if they're really going into your, if it's getting, like, if it's hateful, if it's like racist, or if it's sexist, get rid of it. But when it comes to, they're obnoxious, I don't want to see them, blah, blah, blah. That's what they're going for. That's what they're going for. So, anyway, I think he's nailed it. Johnny 5 for life. Off topic, Christian, but did you hear about the antics on Riley's drunk streaming last night for 4 to 5 hours? It was awesome. No. What happened? I didn't hear about it. What happened? Who was on it? What? Tell me about it, Johnny.
What's the buzz? Tell me what's
Tell me the buzz. Okay. So
Spell the tea.
See if there's any more super chats over here. No. Okay. So I want to know what that was all about. What do you guys think? How? See if there's anything more before we call it a day here, Brett.
Tomorrow we'll be reviewing the entire Bobcat Goldmine series.
I don't know what you guys are going to be talking about. All I know is that I'm off tomorrow. Remember that.
That's right.
So tomorrow, John Roca will be hosting with Brett and Ben Goddard for sure. Got to see who's available, who else is available. So let's find out in just a little bit. All right. Oh, I had news. Should I do that again? I'll do it again.
Turn the channel! Don't watch this show!
Thank you, Bob. Yeah, look how silly this is.
I think I'm just a little bit funny in the shower.
It's like most of our competitors. This is on Cinemax, and this is how most of our competitors shoot their promos with no sound or anything.
I'm gonna do my monologue. Won't you join me, please, now?
This is his opening monologue, and it's in a shower.
Hey, what the hell's going on here?
We're doing a TV show. Thank you very much. It's really nice to be here tonight.
The last _cinema sailor donated $20.
I kind of remember this.
Happy Memorial Day, everyone. Quick shout out to Nicholas Salesi, who is about to ship out to RTC Great Lakes. I've been an active duty sailor since 2014. Greatest decision of my life. Good luck and Godspeed. Keep in touch with SEN after graduation.
Yeah, man. Well, thank you for putting that in there. Really appreciate that. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay. Let's see. Going back, see if there's anything else before we miss it, before we call it a day here today. And we also...
PC donated $20.
Hey, PC.
A very happy birthday to Chill to Action host Danny Ramirez and to Video Drew.
Yes, happy birthday. Thank you for reminding me. Happy birthday to Danny Ramirez. Happy birthday to Video Drew. There's somebody else. There's another Schmodown personality that has a birthday today, and I can't remember who it is. So happy birthday. So many birthdays. Everybody
having birthdays for. Did my first drive-by birthday for a friend of mine.
Oh, did you have that go? What happened?
It's just it's sad.
Yeah.
You see this kid. Well, no, it's just 13-year-old boy and his friends are driving by and honk honk, happy birthday. Next car, honk honk. It's just like I feel so bad.
Wait, how old is Blake?
13.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah. I feel bad for these kids that this is their birthday.
Yeah. No, I know that, and in general, I mean it's tough, dude. I don't know what school's gonna be like in fall. I'll tell you what. In some fucking places, if you take this weekend as any judgment, they're gonna be open to next week.
Yeah.
Schools, summer schools and stuff. It's like I'm telling you, I was so shocked by that park.
Yeah.
I was shocked, dude. I couldn't believe it. Could not believe it. Anyway, double check, make sure I don't miss anybody's stuff here before.
And there's a guy. The cops are on the beach in the they're mounted. Some of them are on the four wheels and stuff like that. And they're not telling people to get away from each other or anything. That's the other thing. Is I thought it was just you could just do activity. I thought it was like we were just going to go for a walk.
Yeah.
We walked kind of partially into it and went, oh, this is okay. We can't go. There's too many.
Wow, get out of here. All right, guys, listen.
Go home.
Enjoy today. I don't know if you're going to be barbecuing or what you're going to be doing, but enjoy and please stay safe. And if you do go to the park, either wear a mask or stay away from people.
Yeah.
Thank you to Brett. Thanks for coming out here today, my man. Enjoy your rest of your day.
Service people.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Yes. And make sure that you check out, once again, on Wednesday, big match here. Sean Sullivan versus Laura Lights Out Kelly. Go to the group and let us know who's winning the promo wars here. Is it corruption? Is it the den? Go and tell us who's winning the promo wars and retweet, do all that kind of stuff. Really appreciate it. To everybody, we'll see you. Well, I'll see you on Wednesday. We'll see you tomorrow. Peace out, Mother F.